Listen, you do not need AI, at least not for everything people are trying to use AI for right now. And I know that sounds strange coming from someone who helps business design and implement AI and automation system, but this is actually one of the first things I wish more business owners understood. Because a lot of companies are not asking, what problem are we trying to solve? They are asking, how can we add AI to this? And that's usually the wrong starting point. I was talking to someone recently about a workflow they wanted to improve. They had two systems that were not connected. One system collected information from customers, and the other one was where the team actually managed their work. So every time a new request came in, someone had to manually kind of copy that information from one system to the other. And their first question was, can we use AI for this? And my answer was, maybe, but probably you shouldn't use. Because if the only problem is that information needs to move from one system to the other, that's not really an AI problem. That's just an integration problem. That's just automation. It's just a workflow design. And I told them, you don't need AI just to move clean data from one place to another. You need AI when the system has to understand something, reason through uncertainty, classify mass information, for example, summarize, prioritize, or help make a decision. You need that intelligence layer on top of your system. And that's where AI makes the real difference. The biggest mistake I see right now is that businesses are using the word AI for everything. And if you treat every business problem like an AI problem, you can easily overcomplicate the solution, spend more money than needed, create more risk, and still not fix the actual operational issue. Sometimes the smartest solution is boring, is a boring solution. Sometimes the smarter solution is a clean intake form, better routing logic, a CRM update, an automated email, or a simple integration between two tools. And that's okay. The goal is not just to use AI. The goal is to make the business work better. And if the business will work better without AI in that specific issue, so it's better not to use AI. Just use traditional automation, just integrate system. You don't have to use AI. You don't have to force AI into everything, because then you're just gonna get frustrated because you're not seeing the actual impact that AI should have when it's well implemented, because you're just forcing AI because you want to use AI, but actually that's not the right path. You just gotta say, okay, should I actually really use AI? And if you're not sure whether or not, just reach out to an AI architect, someone that has been used for a while, and then they can provide you that guidance. And that's kind of what we do. We help a lot of business design AI solutions, implement AI solutions, and provide them the best path forward, best way to implement things. And a lot of times when and I can see the surprise in their face when we say, you don't need AI here. Actually, this is just, you need a custom tool here. You don't need AI here. You just need AI here, or you need intelligence. And in the end, it makes sense to them, but I can see in the beginning they're surprised because somehow maybe someone else told them that AI would be a best fit for this specific problem. But the way we work, for us, AI, again, I'm an AI advocate. We're an AI first company, but from a business perspective, AI only makes sense where it makes sense. You should use AI where you provide the most value, not just say I'm using AI. And that's why we recommend, and that's why this kind of guidance we provide to our clients. So that's for an example, right? Let's take a very common example, for example, the lead intake. You have leads coming from a website contact form, for example, right? Right now, for example, you might have someone check the email inbox to read the inquiry, manually goes and create a CRM record, goes to your customer relationship management system, and create a record for the customer, and then sends a reply, and maybe he assigns to someone, or maybe they just forget, right? And a lot of people, in that case, you might think, okay, hey, we need an AI agent here. My answer is yes, maybe, but let's slow down. Let's look at it, your specific situation. For example, if every inquiry has structured fields like name, email, phone number, service needed, location, and preferred time, for example, you may not need AI for the first version, for example. You might just need a traditional automation, right? Because again, if all the information is there, there's no need for intelligence to analyze the information because it's not clear. There's no certainty. It's clear. There's email, there's a phone number, there's a service needed, and there's a location and the preferred date or time. So you have all the information. So maybe just it's enough just to send the information to the CRM as it is, right? And that should be okay. That should be enough, right? You can set up the workflow in your CRM, like a trigger a workflow when the record is created in the CRM, and send an email notification to your salesperson or whatever. So it's an internal process that you may not need AI, all right? This is just workflow automation. Now, where AI would make sense, for example, it's when, for example, you have free form message come to you, for example. Let's say, in this case, people are sending you message directly to your sales email, your company email, asking for a service. And it's not a structured information, right? Because people can ask for in different ways, right? It's a free form. People can write different ways. Someone might just say like, "Hey, I need to know how much you guys charge for this." Someone else might say, "Hey, you know what? I have this project and this and this and that, and I'm wondering if you guys could look at it, whatever." So it's not a fixed template that's coming to you. It's like free form text. It can come in any ways, in any shape. In that case, for example, it would make sense to have AI analyze that message, classify the intent, like, okay, what is it? Is someone is asking for a quote? Is someone like just trying to sell something? And then you analyze, understand the message and the reasons for the message, you understand the message, and then it takes from there and send to the right place. That's where AI, for example, starts making sense, right? Because you have information coming in and you're not sure, you're uncertain what shape it's going to come. And you want to make sure that whatever shape they come, the system is able to detect what kind of email, if it's a lead, if it's an important lead, it's a high priority lead, for example, and take the right action, right? And that, in that case, I would say yes, you need AI there because you need a reason, you need intelligence to be able to see what's the content of the email, what's the intent in the email. Does that make sense? That's when, for example, and that's the kind of the questions I'm always asking when I'm sitting with customers, and that's why it's important to have this initial architectural planning, have this kind of conversations, and I love to see my clients and understand their workflow and ask questions. Okay, how you do this? How are you going to receive the information? What kind of information you expect to receive? Is that free form text or is a template that your customers fill out, so you know exactly which field what you should expect from each field? Or is that information can come in any shape and you need a layer of intelligence to kind of understand what people are asking and then send to the right place? So that's a kind of the architectural design part that you got to go through this process, and which will help you determine if you actually need AI or not. Because again, in many cases, you just need to connect system. You just need a traditional automation. Connect one system to the other, send the information from one system to the other, and you don't need AI in that case because you don't need intelligence in that case, right? So AI, the best way to understand this, to put it, is I need AI when I need intelligence on top of the process, right? If I can have simple automation, like connect one system. I can connect a contact form in my website to my Google Sheet or CRM, right? That's just automation. Then it becomes AI automation if I need this intelligence layer. Before I even save my Google Sheet or my CRM, I need AI to kind of read the email, classify, and see what kind of email it is to see if it's even worth saving in the Google Sheet or CRM or not, or just discard the email. So I need that kind of layer of intelligence. So there, it's like, okay, I need AI definitely there to classify the information, analyze, so I don't have to do it manually. And that's the power of AI, because otherwise, if you would have to do it manually, because imagine if you're a company with a certain size, you have a lot of leads, imagine you have hundreds of emails coming in. Can you imagine? You might have to pay someone just to do that, right? While you could have the AI agent there, sitting in there, reading all your emails and send to the right place. That That's real impact, right? That's where you're going to see that AI has a real impact, right? So the way I think about it is very simple, right? Before adding AI, I would ask 5 questions. Like, first, is the process clear? Like, if the business process is unclear, AI will not magically fix it. If your team does not know who owns the next step, if the rules are inconsistent, or if every person handles the same request differently, adding AI may just make the confusion faster, right? Second is the data structure or messy? If the data is structured, fields, drop downs, checkbox, clear categories, you may only need an automation, you may not even need AI. Now, if the data is messy, there's long messages, free form text, vague requests, emails, call, notes, unstructured customer comment. AI may help interpret it. It may help analyze it and classify it, right? Third question, for example, I would ask is there a decision involved? If the system only needs to move information, automation may be enough, right? If the system needs to decide what something means, how urgent it is, where you should go, or what should happen next, AI may be really useful here, right? Fourth question, what happens after the AI output? This is kind of where I see a lot of business stop too early. They say, oh, the AI can answer the question. Okay, but then what? Does it create a task? Does it update the CRM? Does it notify someone? Does it send the customer the next step? Does it escalate if confidence is low? Does a human review it? AI without a next action is often just a nice conversation, to be honest. Fifth, what business outcome are we trying to improve? Are we trying to respond faster, capture more leads, reduce manual admin work, improve customer experience, reduce errors, increase follow-up consistency? If you cannot define the outcome, it's kind of too early to talk about using AI agents, for example. And one of the most common mistakes I see it's business trying to automate before they define the workflow. They say they ask, "Can we automate this?" But when you ask what should happen first, second, and third, the answer usually is not clear because they're not really clear about the process. And that's a problem because automation is not just about connecting tools. AI is not just about generating answers. A good system needs logic, it needs rules, it needs exceptions, it needs ownership, it needs to know when to act automatically and when to stop and ask, for example, for human review. For example, if a customer request is low risk and routine, maybe the system can handle it automatically. But if the request involves billing, legal stuff, sensitive information, or a customer is super angry, maybe the AI should not handle that. Maybe it should just escalate to someone, right? So these are kind of things you have to think about. And this kind of things, it has to do with the system design, the architecture, right? This is something that you have to plan in advance. How I want my AI agent to handle things. How I want my AI agent to handle frustrated customers, right? How I want my AI agent to handle someone asking for legal compliance thing. Do I want the AI to, answer and maybe that creates liability, or just say, no, I cannot answer this question. Please contact your legal department, things like that. Again, the key is architecture. All right. So here's a practical, simple rule that you can use as a business owner, right? Something I would use. If the workflow is predictable, you can use automation. Okay. If the workflow the problem you're trying to solve requires intelligence, add AI to it, right? For the intelligence layer. If the workflow affects revenue, customer experience, or operational risk, design the system before you build anything. Because it affects your revenue, affects your customer experience. You don't want to just go and implement it. You got to design, you have to protect your business, your reputation. You want to make sure that whatever you implement is not hurting your revenue, is not hurting your customers' experience, and you're not leading them away. For example, a form submission is going to a CRM, for example. You have a contact form again in the site, and it's going to a CRM. That's probably automation, right? Now, if you have email coming in and you need a way the system to understand what the customer is asking and then send to the right person, the right place, then you need AI there to kind of understand. You need intelligence. So it's again, it's about having orchestrating everything, having a clear plan, a clear vision of what problem you're trying to solve, and understandably sometimes you're not sure where AI can solve the problem or not, and that's why you have to talk to people like us, or any other expert that understand the limitations and have experience with traditional automation, custom systems, with coding, and also with AI. And then people like us can recommend you, like, okay, here you can use a coding because it's like more traditional automation. You integrate system, or here you should use AI because you need the intelligence in traditional coding is not going to solve that problem there, right? So protect your business, protect your project, protect your investment, work with experts, get the right guidance, implement AI in a way that it has real impact, and then you can measure over time. Like, after I implement this system, I'm getting these results. I'm getting customers more satisfied. I'm getting I'm not losing leads anymore. I'm not having lead leakage, because a lot of companies that we work with, for example, they had a problem. They were losing leads like crazy because they would get so many emails. They have leads coming from ads they run, Facebook ads, Google ads, and they just didn't have. They weren't fast enough to handle all that request, right? And they would miss emails because they have the salespeople, they're on the phone with the other people, and the emails are coming, and then they're so tired. The next day, after 2 days, they going back in the emails to try to see CRM to try to find the leads of 2 days ago, and then the lead went somewhere else because they had an urgent need, and no one told them anything. So this is the kind of problem in automation AI can solve, because then even if you don't have enough people around, if, for example, an important lead sends you an email, the AI can understand the email like, okay, this is an important lead, there's an urgency here, so let me text someone or put this lead in the top. So right in the morning, someone can take care of it, or even, which is the best strategy, is follow up right away. It's like, hey, we just received your request. Thanks so much, and someone from our team is gonna reach out to you as soon as possible. You're very important to us. Please be sure that we're gonna reach out as soon as possible, and that transforms your business, because then you have a warm lead that you put that expectation that you're gonna get back to them. So even if they kind of have urgent, like, okay, they got back to me very quickly, so I'm just gonna wait maybe until morning, and then in the morning you have this AI classify that lead as important, put on the top of your top priority in your CRM, whatever tool you use as CRM, and then have some of your sales reps contact that lead and make the deal. And that's what this is all about, right? You want to use AI not to just to be pretty to say I use AI, but to improve business operations, to increase your revenue and grow your business. Hopefully this all makes sense, guys. Again, just a conversation around architecture, around AI, and hopefully you were able to extract some insights from this video. And as you planning to build your systems, implement your AI system in your business, hopefully this kind of provide you some guidance. And if so, please like and subscribe to the channel, because we are always bringing new videos, providing new insights, because we're in the battlefield, and we every day dealing with this, right? Implement solutions for businesses and helping them grow using AI and automation architecture solutions. So what we talk here is about real experience, not theories, not hype. It's what we live every day. So again, if you need a partner to help you architect, design, and implement a great AI system production level, feel free to reach out. And that said, thanks so much for spending your time watching this video, and see you in the next one.